You can go ahead and call the meeting to order.
Didn't see the light. Good morning. Welcome to the November 16th, 2023 Post Falls Urban Renewal Agency Commission meeting.
Morning, everyone. Is anybody there?
Good morning.
This is going to be a lot of fun. Anyways, call the meeting to order and ask Director Johns to please call the commissioner roll call.
Thank you, Vice Chair Davis. Coles.
Eric, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Davis.
I'm not hearing anything from the chambers either.
Yeah, me either.
I
don't know if they
Jerry,
can hear us
Eric,
or not.
Commissioners Baltzell, Clemenson, can you hear us now?
If not, we need to cut this off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 5 here.
Yeah, we've got a quorum.
Okay.
If anyone down there can hear us, could you wave your hand? No? Okay, they can hear us.
Ended the Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's good.
thank you.
Perfect, thanks.
Should we start roll call over?
Yes.
Let's try this again.
All right. Coles.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
Crosby.
Here.
Fleshman.
Here.
Jeltness.
Here.
And unfortunately, Commissioners Clemenson and Baltzell will not be able to participate due to technical difficulties.
Great. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Righty. Item 2, ceremonies, appointments, and announcements. Hearing none, we'll move on to conflicts disclosure. Any of the commissioners have conflict disclosures? Great. Moving on to item 4, consent calendar. Director Johns?
Vice Chair Davis, Commissioners, good morning. Item A in the consent calendar is the Commission meeting minutes, September 21st, 2023. Item B is the Finance and Policy Committee meeting minutes, November 7th, 2023. Item C is the payables for this month, totaling $8,356.04. Item D is the bank activity report, which shows total funds in all accounts of $2,464,759.08 and accrued interest for the month of $5,818.31. Item E is the financial reports as of October 31st. Approval of the consent calendar will authorize a transfer of $8,356.04 to the First Interstate checking account for the monthly payables and $5,818.31 accrued interest to the general fund. Lastly, in regards to the canceled October commission meeting, a review of the September financial statements was completed by Commissioner Crosby, and the October payables were reviewed by Commissioner Crosby, Treasurer Crosby, on October 19th. On October 20th, checks totaling $7,318.49 for the October payables were posted. I will answer any questions.
Any of the commissioners have questions, comments? Okay.
Move to approve.
Second the motion.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Do a roll call vote.
Jeltness,
Aye.
Fleshman,
Aye.
Crosby,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Coles.
Aye.
Item 5, committee updates, finance and policy. Treasurer Crosby?
As Joe mentioned, we reviewed the September and October financial report. We also had a meeting on the November 7th where we discussed the status of the 2023 audit. We discussed the budget and fund projections going forward, and we looked at policy 16 and policy 15 with regard to questions that Joe had raised concerning distributions and other issues. And then we also discussed and will recommend to the committee that we have a strategic planning session in April of 2024.
Right. District review, Commissioner Coles,
We're gonna have a district review committee meeting this morning after this meeting.
looking forward to it.
Hmm?
I said looking forward to it. For communications, property, and personnel, we have nothing to report. Next item is citizen comments. This section of the agenda is reserved for citizens wishing to address the commission regarding an agency-related issue. Comments related to future public hearings should be held for that public hearing. Persons wishing to speak will have 5 minutes. Okay. Moving along, unfinished business, district activity report. Bob Seale's here from the City of Post Falls.
Morning, Bob.
Morning. Bob Seale, Community Development Director for the City of Post Falls. So I got a request last week to kind of give you guys an update on some of the development happening in and around the city, obviously focusing on the districts. In some cases, there wasn't a lot of information to necessarily provide you. So I also looked at some of the districts that we've just recently closed. This is a map that's little outdated because some of these have closed, but it is showing you the primary districts that we'll be looking at in this brief presentation. As you can see, the Pleasant View, Downtown, Post Falls Tech, Center Point, East Post Falls, and the Expo District are all illustrated on that map. So I kind of had staff pull some permits over the last couple of years just to kind of give us an idea as to what activity has been taking place in those districts. And as you can see on the screen, we've had a total of about $375 million worth of activity in those 5 districts. I did not include Pleasant View. Because there has been no activity in Pleasant View. Well, there was a permit that was applied for. It was for a $23 million project, but that is currently on hold until such time as they determine that they can move forward with something. But I did break these down as well between commercial properties and residential properties. Commercial permits do include multifamily, just as a note. That's how they're categorized and that's how they are recorded. This presentation can be made available to you at a later, after this. So if you're trying to write down the numbers, I'm giving you a little extra time, but this will be also made available to you. And these values are based on the reported values by the applicants when they are applying for the permits. So everything will be different once the assessor's office gets a hold of it and does what they need to do. Kind of looking in some of those areas, I've got some good photos that we had taken recently, some aerial photos of some of the areas out there. So I decided to show those to you. This covers Center Point and Expo, just with some of the permits that have been taking place out there. This is looking westward along Expo Parkway, I believe. You can see the freeway there to the left, and on the other side of the freeway is Tedder. Right here in front of you is the Expo Mini Storage. Behind that is the Douglas Expo spec buildings. These are kind of industrial buildings. In a brief conversation I had with Diana from Douglas, she indicated that she had already started being able to lease these up, and we'll have tenants in them soon enough. This is the Amelia Apartments and Apartment 26 that have been getting constructed out there between these buildings here, and you can kind of see them in the background of the picture, leading on the way to the larger industrial buildings that have been getting constructed on the corner of Beck and Expo Parkway. Where's that Expo Parkway there? Anyways, this is across the street from Maverick. You can see the Circle K is getting closer to completion, and those large industrial buildings, we did receive not an application yet, but they've come in to start the process to demise one of these buildings, setting aside about 2/3 of it for one user. And that'll be approximately 100,000 square foot portion of one of those buildings. Over beyond that, this is within Expo. This is the Ba Way area that you guys recently helped to reimburse the developer on the funding of those streets and infrastructure that went in. These pictures here were taken in August, but these ones were taken more recently in October. You can see the Nutex Health building right here on the left. Use this. This is the Nutex Hospital. It's an emergency hospital, so it's kind of a blend or a mix between, it's greater than an urgent care but less than a full-blown hospital. They will have a lot of different facilities and opportunities, or different types of rooms in there in order to help alleviate the pressure on the emergency rooms at the hospitals. This is part of the GISA Credit Union, is down at this end. And they have a couple of other tenant spaces within that building as well. This is Napa over here in the back with the blue band. And behind that is another multi-tenant building, which will include, I know Wendy's is going in there as well. And Popeyes is slated for kind of over in this general area. That one has not broken ground yet. Another general area, but not within the district, is up by the Tech Park district. Just seeing some development begin to take place up there. The Kootenai Classical Academy that opened earlier this year for the fall is up there off of Fennicus. And the Peak Health and Wellness Center is under construction across the street from it. This is Fennicus here, Prairie's down in this area further south. Peak is coming along. They are hoping to be open by summer of '24. That's the sign that they do have out there right now. The picture on the left was taken in August. The picture on the right was taken in October. And we do have the two roundabouts that recently were completed up there. This is actually, these are both pictures of Zoros roundabout. This is the future site for Super One Foods that Prairie Crossing has been working with. Prairie Crossing's plat application is expected to be on next week's city council meeting, assuming there's two minor fixes that need to be done, and that will be ready for them to file as soon as we have all of that signed and ready to go. So we hope to see some activity begin up there over this winter. And this was the roundabout at Fennicus that was also put in, and you can see the Classical Academy and the Health and Wellness Center there, Peak. Downtown, the primary activity has been in the Millworks project. This is almost completed. You can see it as you drive by the Kindred & Co. It is, they are hoping to get, they're trying to open their bistro this week or next with a TCO, and the remainder of the building would be completed over the next month or two to get that open. Hyatt Place is still in the process of being reviewed for site plan approvals, and that is just to the east of that site. On the map here, you can see this is the location of Hyatt Place. Here's Kindred & Co. there. This building you can see under construction now. That's the Millworks North, I believe is what they're calling that. The buildings on the south side of Fourth are being leased up and sold. Even with the construction activity that's very active in that area, they are leasing and they are selling. Leasing, I believe, when I spoke with them granted, it's been almost 2 months, they were at 69% leased up at that time, so, for the apartments. And the sales were continuing with the variety of townhouses or condos that they have available down there. This is just a couple of more images from their website that you can see for their visioning process. And they are continuing to make headway on their project in a variety of areas. They are finishing up the design on the roundabout that will be placed there at 4th and Idaho. That is anticipated to break ground in the spring, if not sooner. So, and I provided you with a report that I'm not sure if you guys receive or not. This is a report that we do monthly, just kind of provide updates. And this is all the various activity happening within the permitting, within community development's permitting activity. So the highlights, the yellow, the green, the red indicate activity for that month of various forms, whether it's just an update or whether it's been approved or whether a CO has been granted. And the map that goes along with it is readily available on the city's website through our GIS office, and that is, this data is basically used for creating that map. So I just wanted to be able to have that out there, make sure that everybody's aware of that. It does gain a lot of traction. We do get a lot of hits on this GIS tracker. So do you have any specific questions or general questions? Yes, sir.
Bob, when do they anticipate, or when do you anticipate you'll get a building permit for the hotel in the downtown district?
I would anticipate them submitting the building permit for that relatively soon. The site plan is getting closer to being approved. They had indicated that they wanted to break ground on it in the spring. So,
just a comment, you know, I mean, a number of the districts that as you pointed out when you went through, we recently closed, and I think this just points out the positive, continuing, and long-term impact of using the urban renewal program. If you put the infrastructure in, you will get commercial and industrial development, and we see that. And the fact that in the last 2 years, $374 million in new tax money came in through our districts that we've recently closed or the districts that we currently have open. So I think, you know, we need to send that message to the city council. Thank you for this. It's a great report. I'd love to have a copy of it. And I think we need to also use it to educate the public, because we have a lot of negative comments about urban renewal and the impact that has on taxpayers. And I think people look at the current and they don't look at the future. And this is the future. This is what happens in the future.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad that I felt like this was really indicative of the work that you do as an urban renewal agency. You set the groundwork, you get it ready, and it's able to take off and evolve organically the rest of the way. So, yeah.
That's great. Bob, can you send an electronic version to the entire commission? I think
Yeah.
that would be great, just of your presentation.
Thanks, Bob.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'll probably send you a PDF version of it so it's
Yeah.
smaller, because
Yes,
it's kind of a big
thank
file.
Yeah, I also want to say, you know, a lot of this is due to the effort and the work that your staff and you do to, you know, get the word out there that we have commercial and industrial land available with all the utilities, and to work with the developer to make sure that, you know, you are processing the permits and working cooperatively with the developers. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Should praise our developers too, because
Oh, yeah.
without them, we wouldn't
Yeah,
get the stuff
absolutely.
done.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, guys.
All right, let's move on to new business. Dr. Johns?
Vice Chair Davis, JUB Engineers Incorporated, on behalf of A&A Construction Incorporated, has submitted a request for reimbursement of site reclamation costs and public infrastructure constructed during the phases A, B, and G portions of their ongoing project in the Millworks and North Mill 1 subdivision site. Total reimbursement request presently is $6,658,630. I would ask for a motion to authorize myself, the executive director, to sign the Welch Comer Task Order number 23-01 document to simply initiate our consulting engineer's review of the submittal.
So moved.
I second the motion.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Do a roll call vote.
Coles,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Crosby,
Aye.
Fleshman,
Aye.
Cheltness.
Aye.
Thank you.
Staff reports and updates.
Just a few things to add with what Bob Seale has indicated. In the Post Falls Tech District on November 6th, Jerry Dicker provided an update to me on the work being done in the district on their part. The two Prairie Avenue roundabouts, of course, one at Zoros and one at Finicus, have been constructed, which we did get to see those pictures. And then Dicker, I did confirm with him that he expects to submit for the reimbursement of the applicable construction costs in this coming year. Both roundabouts substantially are located within the boundaries of the district. I'm not sure as far as the conversation with the Finicus roundabout, if the costs there will be sought for reimbursement with urban renewal or with tax increment funds. In the downtown district, the A&A reimbursement request submittal will be discussed by the district review committee shortly after this meeting. I anticipate holding a commission workshop on Tuesday, December 12th, at which the full commission will have an opportunity to take a look at that submittal and work through it. That concludes my staff report and updates.
Thank you. Commissioner comments? Hearing none. Chairman comments. I just want to make a note that our very own treasurer, Len Crosby, was recently recognized with the Spirit of Freedom Award from U.S. Senator Mike Crapel. So I just want to say congratulations and thank you for all of your work in the community.
Thank you.
Luminary and a leader, and you're really appreciated.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Very nice.
Thank you.
All right. So I guess we'd be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
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 We are adjourned.